Good morning, everyone, and welcome to my podcast. My name is Lynette. Today I'm calling my podcast Betty, and I know that's not a name that would entice a lot of people, and I don't know how many people are going to listen to this, but what encouraged me to make this podcast is I have a friend named Betty, and she happens to be very sick. And it started me thinking about Betty's attributes. And they are far different than most people I know. I know, and I'm sure you know, some wonderful people, and they have very good attributes. But Betty's attributes are unusual, I guess would be the word. And since we've been talking about being our best selves, and being the best that we can be, I want to share some of her attributes with you. And it's something to think about, something maybe to work toward, to be a goal of yours. I'm going to start with one that I noticed many years ago with this person, is that she has a childlike zest for life. It's like no matter where we go, no matter what we're doing, she is in awe with it. She welcomes it. She welcomes everything. Even if it's not her interest, even if it's your interest. With that being said, you could say, do you want to drive to Mexico today? This hypothetical. And she would say, sure, why not? And everything is remarkable to her. Everything is like it's new, like it's the first time she'd ever seen that. And I've always admired that in her. Like museum, for example. You go to a museum and you look around, you see all the things, and it is interesting. But with her, it's like really interesting. And that's one of the things is she has a real zest for life. She looks at things with a childlike attitude. And if you notice when children observe something, they are so excited about everything. I know I've shared with you that I listen to country music, and I oftentimes get my epiphanies from country music, but there is one right now where the guy sings about his little daughter sitting in the back seat, and he hands someone in need $1, and she asks, who is that? Before he could answer, she's saying, look at the plane in the sky. Look at the dogs running by. It's like childlike. Everything seems new and exciting. And if we could approach life from that angle, from that side, that everything is exciting, and you're so blessed to have each and everything and each and every person in your life, and to show a real interest in somebody else's life, what's going on with somebody else. Take the attention and the heaviness off yourself and really walk the walk with someone else, really get into what is interesting to them. And that brings me to the second attribute about Betty, is that I have a lot of friends that are proud of their families, and they should be for sure. However, with Betty, and this is also very unusual because it's not a common attribute in a person, she is as interested in the people in your life as she seems to be the people in her life. I'm sure the people in her life mean far more. Family's family and love is love. But she also shows absolute interest. She's one person that you could mention to her something that somebody you know or somebody is close to you or a family member is doing that they're succeeding, where one person may look at it as bragging, but Betty looks at it where you don't feel like you're bragging. You're actually excited about something for someone you care about and love. And she is one person that you can share it with that is as excited as you are about it without giving you the feeling that maybe you shouldn't say anything because they don't want to hear it, because nobody likes a bragger, even if you're not bragging, even if you're saying it out of true excitement. And those are just two remarkable attributes within herself. Having such a zest for life, looking everything as brand new every day, getting excited for any opportunity to go somewhere, see something new. And the other is showing a real interest in other people. That is really rare. I know one of my family members sent her a Christmas card, and it had a picture on it. She had that picture hanging in her kitchen for literally years. And I thought that was so sweet and so cute because she didn't need to, but she liked it and she wanted to show it. And so I think we should all have a little more Betty in us. We should show an interest in somebody else, in what excites them, what is making them excited about their own life, and not take what they say to you as bragging. That happens too often, but take it as it is, that it really is exciting to them, and people should be able to share. I know when people brag, I know we've all been around those people, but it's not necessarily the case with everybody who talks about what's going on within their families. It is a true excitement, and they should be able to talk about it. And we all know we've been around people that simply don't want to hear it, and that's okay for whatever reason they don't want to hear it. But having someone in your life with a little bit of Betty in them makes you free to really enjoy and really talk about what is exciting to you. And they share that excitement with you. It's so wonderful to have a friend that shares the excitement, the good times with you. I know there's that old saying, misery loves company. And unfortunately, a lot of people live by that. But on the flip side, turn it around. And how about happiness? Excitement loves company. And be on board with somebody else. And I think in turn, you get the blessing as well. You get the excitement. I think to have people in your life, people who support you, and if things don't go so well, they have a compassion for you and they will listen to your downsides, as well as when things go well for you. They will have the excitement. They will be truly happy for you. And I don't know why that's not always the case, but I think we should all strive to make that our case. Turn our heads around, make a flip side, that we're going to be happy for anyone who succeeds that's around us, and be there as a friend for those who go through a bad time. And I know we've talked about we don't want to hear bad times with someone who chronically, that's all they talk about. But the average person has good and bad going on. And if we could be there to share that emotion, whether it be bad or good, then we're a blessing to their life. But I also think it makes us feel blessed. In other words, we become our best, not only for ourselves, but to add to the human race, to be there as a human being for other people, to care about them, to care when they have fallen on tough times, and to care and share when they've had good times. If we could all kind of be there a little more compassionately, whether it be good or bad, I think the world would be a better place. I think we'd all be a better friend, a better whatever your title is with that person. I think we would all be a bit better for it. And I think the people around us would appreciate it. And it's certainly a good thing to mentor for someone else, especially someone younger growing up, that they would be that kind of person that would give compassion for somebody else, whether they're going through a bad time or a good time. After all, that's what life is. Sometimes it's good, sometimes it's bad, sometimes it's just mediocre. And we've already talked about when it's mediocre, changing that. But for the most part, I think it's good. But I think if we share the joy with someone else, just think about it. That's that much more joy that we have in our lives. It doesn't have to be our own joy. Nobody ever said joy has to be something that happens to you. You can have the joy for someone else. And if you're only joyful when it happens to you, say you get 50% of joy. But if you're joyful when it happens to somebody else, then you can bump that up to 75% joy. So if you change your attitude and really connect and be concerned about what somebody's going through and share with them and be excited for them when something good is happening. As I said, I think it's a blessing to you because I think it kicks your percent of joy in your life up significantly. Now in closing, I just want to say that my friend Betty has taken ill, and I don't know you, but I know you're all over the world. I haven't done this before, but I'm going to ask you to pray for Betty. I would appreciate it. Even though you don't know her, God knows who you're talking about. Thank you. Until next week, God bless you. Bye-bye.